Hello Factorio people. Welcome back to the broadcast from Krastorio. Episode 10. Episode 10 for real this time. I think I called the other one episode 10. It was actually only episode 9. This one's episode 10. Last time we rushed matter tech cards, matter data. This time we're going to put in all the infrastructure to actually get the end game research back up and running. And some stuff happens along the way. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm actually recording this several hours before it's due to go live. Deadlines, am I right? Self-imposed deadlines, admittedly, but... So, comments are extremely welcome at the moment, due to the small lead time between me actually recording and reading the comments. So anything you want to point out, that would be great. Anyhow, let's get straight into it, shall we? This was the base. The first thing I wanted to do, the first thing I noticed is that we need to bolster the copper and the iron to some degree, but definitely the copper. I'm going to try and put low density structures in, and low density structures is certainly one of the huge demands in this mod. It goes into a lot of things that you need a lot of. Ignore all of this. This is all. It goes into satellites, of course, as we know. It goes into utility tech cards. It goes into energy control units, which you need tons of. It goes into transport belts. And as we all know, low density structures absolutely eat through copper. So I thought, oh, I'll just add a second copper train. And then I realised, wait, that's not brilliant, due to the way I've set up my stations. If you look at the old station, if you look at an old station, we set a hard limit on only bring a train when there's less than this, which does work for the most part. But when you get into ores and you want your ores to be constantly going, like when you have this scenario, you want this downtime to be as small as possible. So if this train limit was set to 1, as it in the old system, the dead time between, if you're unloading like this at least, if you're unloading the train in the same speed that you're unloading the box, you're not going to start getting more ore until this train leaves, and then the train limit is still 1, and then the train at wherever your copper patch is, closest copper patch. So this train will then have to travel all the way up here before it starts unloading. So I've changed the circuit conditions for just for the ore stations. This should be fine. Ore is slightly different. It's going to work in a slightly different way, has slightly different logistical challenges. And all this does is it takes the original system, but it also timeses the one train load number by 2, passes that through to 2 separate combinators. If the train load is less than 2, send 1 to the train limit, but then by virtue of the fact it being less than 2, it's also going to be less than 1, so send another 1 to the train limit. So this means that when the cargo is more than 1 train full, it won't send this signal, but it will still send this signal to top up with a second train. I also noticed, and I was very annoyed about this, because I really had hoped that I wouldn't have to make any kind of broad sweeping changes to the grid system, because I thought the grid system was pretty solid. This was a chain signal, which is fine if you're unloading to multiple stations. So if this is a chain signal, and these are only one train ever comes here, it's fine, because like the wood train is going to get to this. Well, if this was a chain signal, actually, the wood train would get to here. It would read this signal, this signal, this signal, this signal, and go, well, I'm trying to go here, and that's green, so that's fine, I'll go through. When you start adding multiple trains to this system, and this is what I didn't plan for, this can't be a chain signal, because then that means that the copper train gets here, or it gets here, for example, but it gets here, and it goes blue, 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 red, I'll just wait here. So this needs to be a regular signal, basically, and that will solve that problem for whatever I want to do, because then a second train will... that's good timing. Second train will come in and in fact wait here. And I can't envisage a scenario where we have two wood trains, for example, coming, so it doesn't matter that this is a normal signal here. So like a second wood train is never going to come and wait here in this block and block the access to an iron train, because that's never going to happen. I'm never going to have a system like that. So I went through and made all those changes. Pretty simple, really. Just get the regular signal out and just blitz through all of these, and then do it the same on the other side. Change the blueprint. Not too bad. Not too bad. Quickly became apparent that there still isn't enough copper. So let's jump forward in time and see what we can do about that. Well, the low density structures are up. I'm trying to do everything I need to do to get purple and yellow tech cards back up and running. I did do what I said I would do and carry some of the matter data over to the main base and plug it in with the remnants of the tech cards from the starter base. But as you can see, it's going to take about 4 hours. So I thought, you know what, this isn't really viable. I didn't have that many yellow or purple cards in the backlog. So let's just get that sorted rather than doing anything silly. So I set low density structures up before then realising, oh wait, I never actually put steel in this base, did I? So there's a modest steel module. Brings the iron and the coal and the wood in, smelts it, does all that jazz. In contrast to vanilla, this will be enough steel to do the 100 science per minute. Don't actually need too much steel. Steel goes into low density structures. You need a lot of low density structures, of course, but because the recipe for low density structures is only 2 steel plates, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So steel's up, low density structures are in, but yeah, this uses 2 red belts of copper just to do this, and this is not enough. It's enough to do 100 science per minute quite easily of purple, yellow, space, matter, etc. But it's the real issue comes when you're trying to then do singularity tech cards. Even the advanced tech cards don't need that much. It's the singularity tech cards. You need the AI cores and the charged matter stabilizers. The matter stabilizers need the energy control units, 3 energy control units each. And an energy control unit is 6 low density structures. This is where most of the resources end up So I've elected to, and this is the same with the crystals as well. Like, this is not enough crystals for 100 sites per minute for all 6 endgame sciences, but it is more than enough. Everything here is more than enough for the first 5. And then once we've got the first 5, we can basically do everything else. You know, advanced furnaces, advanced assembly machines, advanced labs don't need singularity tech cards. So really, we could probably just do 100 sites per minute of the first 5. And then when we're ready to do singularity tech cards, then we can scale up to something a bit more than that. But I'm not exactly sure how that's going to go yet. Yes, so this uses 2 full red belts of copper. This makes 2 full red belts of copper, which means that we certainly now have a copper debt. This module only feeds this module, so all of the copper that needs to go into circuits and advanced circuits and stuff, we need to sort that, and we need to sort that sooner rather than later. So let's do. I set up another copper mining station. There's uranium there, I'll talk about that in a minute. Set up another copper mining station. And put the 2 of them back to 1 train limit each, just so they each go to where they need to go, rather than queuing up just at the closest one. And this will set off any minute now, he says. Any second now it's going to go. There we go. I redid the copper module and upgraded it to blue belts. Because as I say, this is I've said this before, with the modular system you can just pick and choose. If a module is more suited to blue belts, then so be it. Went ham with the train unloading. Oh god, I'm in map view. Oh god, I'm over there. That's why that didn't work. So this unloads 8 blue belts. And 4 blue belts come out. And I thought I'd prod and speed module this. It doesn't make a huge amount of sense to start your moduling at the very beginning like this with the ore. Because the ore is very plentiful. And it's not hard to turn 1 belt of ore into 1 belt of plates. But I just did it anyway. A lot of these modules, the speed modules, the productivity modules, yes, they probably would be better suited in other places. That is correct. Because obviously the productivity compounds, right? You get 40%, well 20% productivity on your iron ore. That's 20% extra plates that you send into green circuits, 20% extra green circuits. You know, that one copper ore ends up netting you like a lot more of a percentage point of a rocket part than it would do if nothing was productivity moduled. Everybody knows this. I don't know why I'm even explaining it to you. But it of course makes more sense to module your expensive things first. Especially because of the excess power that this drains from the system. Power is still fine, of course it is. But I just did this. It was a little side project. You know, we've had the very modest module build going at the main base for some time now, so I thought I would use some of them. And now that this unloads faster than it empties the box, it's a lot more viable to have 2 of these copper stations when we need it, because this still isn't enough copper for 100 science per minute, if you can believe it. Plus, if we go to our train overview, copper is there's 3 copper demand stations. And as we expand further, that's going to get worse. A lot of stuff ends up needing copper in this episode, I feel like. I feel like I was always building copper stations. And in comes another train. Okay. So I'm confident that we've got low density structures sorted. Rocket fuel and processing units we'd already done. So uranium, we need some uranium, don't we? Yes. Not too bad. I already had sulfuric acid set up, thankfully. So yeah, just bung a uranium ore thing down here. Double-sided station to unload some sulfuric acid as and when needed. This makes a lot more uranium ore than we need for 100 science per minute. We also need to deal with the byproducts somehow. Iron ore, bricks. Currently I'm just turning the bricks and the iron ore into concrete, but that is not the correct ratio. You end up with a lot more iron ore than you need. Yeah, a lot more spare iron ore than can go into the concrete. I don't worry too much about what I'm going to do with this, because as soon as we can start turning stuff into matter, then I will turn the stone, the iron ore into matter, turn that matter back into uranium to be processed, uranium ore, and just feed it straight back through the system so that we only get 235 and 238 out of here. It's around this time that I notice that I'm an idiot. Even though this makes a lot more uranium than we need, it's still going to take a very, very long time to fill up a 4-wagon train. And we've got that problem in many, many places in the base. Shouldn't really be trying to fill 4 wagons up with AI cores, even though I've managed it here. This build creates enough AI cores for what we need, but it's still going to take over 2 hours to fill a train. In theory, if time were infinite, that's fine, because these AI cores are going to go to one place. Well, they're going to go to a couple of places, but and they're going to use those AI cores actually slower than this. If the AI cores need to go to 2 places, then obviously by definition each one of those 2 places is not going to use them faster than this, because this is enough AI cores to make everything we need. But obviously that's a problem for getting things up and running, because I don't want to wait 2 hours for my first trainload of AI cores to make its way to wherever they end up needing to go. Why did I build those? Actually, I only need them for Singularity Tech cards. I built them because I needed them for some of the buildings. A bad example. Bad example. Processing units is a better example. This is enough processing units, but this fills about 2 wagons an hour, and this train needs to go to several places. So what I really should have done, and would have been very smart of me, is to only have 1 trains, or even just 1 trains, for items that are needed in lower quantities. And obviously I could use Factorio lab.github.io to work out the exact quantities that are going around the base. And I should have done that, and I didn't. You know, we also have this problem here. This is taking a long time to fill up a train. Lithium, not so much. But, you know, we're having this problem all over the base, really. And it's not... As I say, it's not mission critical. As I go around doing other things, these trains are going to slowly fill up. But when I want to build this, and I want to make sure that this is okay, even though it's quite obviously okay, it's very simple to see that it's okay, I would have to wait 2 hours for the crystals train to come over. And because the crystals go to more than one place, even right now when I press, alright, just go to the next station, it's going to AI cores, because the AI core station is also saying I need crystals. So it's quite irritating. And I really should fix it. But spoilers, I don't. What I tend to do is I tend to just send a half-full train to somewhere that I want to see that it's working, and then hope for the best. You know? So like I would go, stop, come over, which one is it? Must be this one. Come over here, please. I would like some more matter cards. It's not the best solution. It will solve itself, but I really wish I'd have thought about this kind of thing. What I put this down to is knowing that when we get to the megabase plan, all of our trains are going to have to be 1.4 trains regardless. We'll be making everything in such quantities that 1.4 trains will quite easily be filled all of the time. But I didn't think about how that affects the base as it stands. Okay. Let's see what happens next. Been keeping an eye on the starter base numbers. The iron and the copper is going to run out. I want this to run out. It's going to be very satisfying when it does run out. Don't know quite what I'm going to do about the stone and the coal. When no, the coal is not a problem. It's the stone, because the stone goes into glass. And there's some stone down here which I turn into silicon, so I suppose I could repurpose that. But this is actually finally running out. I changed the iron to match this. It just seemed prudent. Added another iron train down here. Again, I've mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. I'm just using the simple, because these are Mark II miners that have a wider mining area, and due to the exorbitant cost of underground belts in this mod, especially as you start working your way up the tree, doesn't make any sense to me to do the tight mining setup. Just do it like this. Save yourself a lot of resources, and it's much easier to set up. So I'm hoping I don't have to expand the base any further south for a long time. I mean, I still have like over a dozen empty grid sections, and I don't see the issue with just going a bit further east if I need a few more. Yeah. So we've got uranium done, we've got... what we need is we need blank tech cards. That's what we need. We need blank tech cards so we can start pushing blank tech cards around the base. And this is where I learned my lesson about the size of trains. I'm not going to retroactively fix it, but I will make sure that it makes sense going forwards. some copper and some iron into blank tech cards. Fairly simple. Very simple, very easy. Oh, what is this? Terrible. Terrible, that's what that is. And yes, loaded into a 1-1 train. This will make enough tech cards to supply 6 sciences with 100 science per minute. But it's still going to take about 8 minutes to fill up a single wagon. Now obviously that's much better than it taking over half an hour to fill up a train. But this is better. And then obviously this will be full with 4,800... Wait, no, is that true? Stacked to 200, right? Yeah, so this is actually going to be filled with like 8,000 tech cards. So that will supply one station for 80 minutes. Before it needs to come back. So it should have plenty of time to go around all of the stations and unload, and then just go to the one that it needs. I added a second copper. I didn't add any more trains, because as I say, because the trains are unloading faster, the trains are unloading into the box faster than the box is unloading now. It's not causing so much of a problem to just have the trains go to where they're needed. I think the other one is saying that it's full, it's fine. Yeah. Well, not quite. This one is saying it could do with a train, but... it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So then now that all of that's sorted, we can do purple tech cards very slowly as the trains permeate their way around the base. Purple tech cards, as we know, pain in the arse. Uranium needs to come in, blank tech cards needs to come in, fast transport belts need to be made, productivity modules need to be made. This will work when the trains finally arrive. This will work. The speed ramps up quite quickly from here because the recipe for utility tech cards is exactly the same layout as this. Just need an extra thing on the end to make 4 of these. And then the same with turning the matter tech cards, the matter data into the tech cards. Just do the same again. So really, we're done. All we really need to look at now is just putting it in science labs, I suppose. Oh, I did actually move my pollution filter processing to a vaguely more centralized position. I was also going to put one down here. I haven't gotten around to that yet. Again, the stone and the iron ore byproducts from this, I'm turning into concrete very slowly. Why is there no concrete in here? Where is that going? Oh, that's probably going to nuclear reactors. Didn't think about that. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. I do need to think about making a rocket silo soon as well, so a bit of backlog in the concrete is okay. That's odd that I decided to put that into a yellow chest and not just a steel chest. Ah, well, you know, these things will work out in the end, I suppose. Alright, let's finish off the last of the cards. Here's your yellow cards. Just with your... what we're waiting on to be delivered. Low density structures. Here they come now. Obviously you can make these in the other smaller research labs, but they don't have as many module slots, so why would you do that? You would be objectively wrong to do it like that. These also are unloading to only half a train, so I don't have that problem of immediately going, as soon as the train arrives, starts loading into the box, and then this belt empties. This will never ever become full enough to hit our whole train load. So this would immediately send 2 trains worth of rocket fuel. And due to the issues we're having with the size of our trains against the throughput, that would be a mistake. So I've kind of done that to help alleviate some of those problems, rather than just turning this into a 1-1 train, which I could do. Just have unloading bits like this instead. I've done it like this. And so here are the yellow tech cards. I missed the first 12, but there we go, it's fine. Oh, looks like the iron has just arrived to the productivity card area. Not too bad. Fairly simple to make the red belts that you need. What are we waiting on? We're waiting on the uranium, of course. Waiting on the uranium. So all we need to do now is just turn the metadata into actual matter tech cards and build a science lab area for that all to be processed. A train with some metadata in it. Not a lot of metadata, admittedly, but some. About 5 minutes worth. That goes into these bad boys. Yeah, hardly any, really. But oh well. This will go into a train, and that will go to the science facility. This looks a bit odd, I know. You're saying you're missing a beacon. This was as close as I could get to 100 science per minute. Just take this beacon away. These two work slightly slower, but that adds up to 100 science per minute. Oh, you got some cards in you. Come on down. Oh, you've also got some cards in you, sure. Do you have any cards in you at all? 20. Okay, it is automated. Is it automated properly? Is it automated well? I'll leave that up to you to decide. But in theory, at some point in the future, when all the trains become full, this will make 100 science per minute. I haven't done rockets, obviously, because looking at the tech tree, we can get some quite easy wins here without optimization tech cards. There it goes. There we go, it's finished. Oh dearie me. Come on, just give me these. Come on. Let's make a token effort. 45 tech cards, 30 seconds of science. Let's go. Yay! But look, these numbers are a lot better now. These numbers make a lot more sense. Right, so we can... I've left a space here for optimization tech cards. We can get a rocket silo up and running. We would need to do rocket control units for that, but we have the low density structures and the rocket fuel already in the quantities that we need them. Immersion processing is now done, so now we can turn the powder into plates, and we can start looking at the things that those go into. So that's basically unlocked another tier of things for us. Oh, inserters. Superior inserters. Nice. Power Armor Mark 4. Oh, we don't have Power Armor Mark 3 yet, but we'll get there. And then that will also allow us quite soon to get... Oh, not actually, no, we need advanced tech cards. But advanced tech cards isn't far away either, because we can get that with... We need to make electric engines and lithium sulfur, so... I know it's been a long time since any meaningful progress has been made, because we've basically just been rebuilding this base into this. But we have done that now. We are now actually researching the tech tree again for the first time in a long time. Let me show off a few things. The copper production, how the copper production changed over the last 10 hours. So this was with one train going backwards and forwards, not being able to keep up. This was when I added the second train and changed the unloading system so that 2 trains could wait in the station at the same time, so you can see the immediate effect that had. This was the teardown and the redesign, and then this was the second module added, and then it's very spiky now because we make more copper than we need. So while both modules were working, it was very high, but it's going up and down as the train goes to unload, but it's not going to unload all the time. The copper modules will not need to always be working, even though currently they are. And then science. I mean, we've been making a yeah. No, it's pointless. Shouldn't have shown you that. Anyway. Yes. Not bad. Pretty decent amount of progress, I feel like. And yeah, we can start launching some rockets. I'm going to try and do rockets and advanced tech cards both in the same episode, because I don't think that rockets will be that taxing. I'm going to just build satellites, probably in the mall, as I'm doing now, and ship them over with the logistics bots for the interim. When we get to 5,000 science per minute, then obviously I'm going to put them on trains, because that's still 5 satellites a minute that you need. Pretty good. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. Right, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like, comment, and all that jazz. And if you want to see more broadcasts from Krastorio, be sure to subscribe. As I say, this is going... What is the time? Let me... Behind the scenes, the time is 5 to midday. And I usually set these episodes to go live at about 2:30. So, if you want to comment, is perfect. I will literally not be playing Factorio again before the episode goes live, so any comments or suggestions for the base, extremely welcome at this point. Other than that, I hope you're doing alright. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.